And the summit really is helping me to understand, right? This new concept of dating a city that you might want to move to. So that's
I
kind
love
of,
the vision of
isn't that a
that.
great way to
Dating
think
a
about it?
city that you want to go to.
Yes. Hey, Les, what's cooking? Good looking.
Hey, actually, I'm really hungry. So hopefully there's nothing cooking now, but hopefully soon. But I digress.
Welcome to another episode of Black Boomer Besties from Brooklyn. I'm Angella, and that is my best friend of almost 50 years, Leslie. We are two intellectually curious 60-something-year-old women, and if you are also an intellectually curious older woman, or if you love one, or if you want to become one, we invite you to join us. And today we're going to be talking about this Exodus Summit that I attended and just the fallout from that. And we're going to be talking about one of the people that we just really admire in this world, Stephanie Perry, and how her tendrils are just like going all through my life. And so, Les, before I continue, what are you asking of the people?
I have an ask. I'd like you to click on like and subscribe. I think you'll be happy that you did because you came to this channel. There's obviously something appealing about us, and if you click on notifications, you'll get word about when we drop new content. I think you'll find us interesting. You'll find us funny. I think you'll learn some things, and I think your friends will like that you told them about us. So please click like and subscribe now.
All right. Thank you for that. So the Exodus Summit is a yearly virtual summit that that was co-founded by Rashida Dowe and Stephanie Perry. If you have been on our channel at all, you have been hearing about Stephanie Perry and her work to help Black women to bob around the world like a nomad, take a career break away from the United States, or completely leave the United States. She and in her collaboration with Rashida Dowe has really facilitated thousands of Black women across the United States move to all different parts of the world, to Asia, to Africa, to the Caribbean, to Europe, all over the world. And so they hosted their Exodus Summit a few weeks ago. And before I jump into kind of some of the specifics around it, because, it was a 3-day summit, 4 days? It started Friday evening and it went until Monday.
Yeah,
and I'm
so
going to say it was October 11th through the 14th, I want to say. Leslie wasn't able to attend, however, because life be lifing. But there are replays that you all can get. You can go to Exodus Summit, their website. They have a Facebook group, all the things. Listen, go find out. It's not hard to find them. They've made their community very accessible. It is only for Black women. They are very clear about that, and make no apology for that. I wanted to bring up a few things that have happened since the summit. Just things that, first of all, Leslie wasn't able to attend, but I I got her a gift of a book because she needs this so badly.
You texted me in the middle of this presentation and you're like, you need to hear this. And she started like typing some of the things that she was hearing from this presenter. And then I get this gift in the mail. I tell you, you're so good to me. So the Afro Minimalist's Guide to Living with Less. Why did I need this book?
Listen, let me tell
Well,
you got to go back several episodes ago, probably last year, because Leslie, we're almost at our 2-year mark. We got to do something, but I know this is just a really
it's a tough time for me.
Intense time right now. But we talked about Leslie and Leslie's stuff. Leslie is a stuff person.
Not a hoarder. Not a hoarder.
She's not a hoarder. No. She's got stuff, and her stuff is amazing.
But
she's got amazing stuff.
I have stuff. And
she's
if
got
you
stuff.
have been with us recently, you'll know that I'm going through some life changes, and I'm moving, and I'm trying to downsize, and it's becoming overwhelming, and I'm like, where did all this stuff come from? And then I get this in the mail. So I said to Ange recently, I said, you need to come. My aim is to get rid of 50% of the things that I own. Clothing, 50% of everything.
Yeah.
I'm trying to copy you because you downsized from your 5-bedroom house to your apartment.
2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
I'm probably 90% down from where I was. So I've been on this journey.
And now I am 1.5% down from where I was.
That's probably... Listen, you are on a journey. You have started this journey. Don't act like you haven't begun. You have started on this journey, and
but
now
what did
you
I say
have
to
some.
You? I said, Ange, I need you to come here so you go through the things because I don't want to see them.
She did say that. She was like, then don't give me all these options. Just say, just in and out. I don't even. Yeah.
So anyway, but thank you for the gift, and
you're welcome.
I appreciate your interacting with her from the summit.
Absolutely. And can you read the author's name? I don't have it.
Yes.
Present.
Christine Platt.
Okay. She has so her message and journey and gift to the world is Afro Minimalism, right? So if you know anything about the minimalist
movement,
design movement, it is about having less, but it's very kind of white, both in who practice it and in kind of the visual aesthetic is white. It's it's very monochromatic. You just have a few things and expertly placed and so on. And she has layered it with what it is to be a minimalist and someone of the African diaspora, right? How do we make choices? Why do we have the things that we have? What is kind of a cultural or a kind of a familial root of having so many things or attaching so much value to things.
I was going to say the cultural consciousness of why we gather and acquire things and hold on to things and stuff, because we all have stories about our families and growing up about things like that. So I started looking at it, and I can't wait to dig in.
I know, because you're a reader, you'll definitely get value. I mean, I got value out of every single speaker at the summit. And so highly encourage you guys to take advantage. They talked about healthcare. They talked about all of the travel documents that you may need. There's so many services that are available to you. If you're in any way interested in taking a career break, bopping around the world, fully leaving the United States, especially in this climate that we're in right now, please check out the Exodus Summit. So here are some things that have happened since the summit. Well, this happened actually, one of these things happened just before the summit. So
before you blow people's minds with just how small the world is, I just want to say, one, I've met Stephanie Perry. We were at an event together, which was really nice. And I think I left a picture of that on our site. But also, I took advantage of some of her counsel and wisdom when I did my recon trip in the spring to Costa Rica. I was there for several weeks and covered the entire country with an eye toward that place as a possible landing spot for me in my exodus from the States. So really helpful information. What I really appreciate about her is that Stephanie really addresses some of the tangible and realistic fears that we may have in preparation and just thinking about if I leave this place, some financial fears, employment options and ideas, and just how to get your mind ready for considering and realizing such a move. So that was really helpful to me.
So I gotta tell you something. You know, my bestie is very competitive, right? She's very competitive.
I am.
And I don't
no
care.
shade. I don't care. I
don't care
admit it.
Because I'm not.
I turn
and so
everything into a competition.
Everything. The reason why
even
Leslie
lipstick.
took.
If I knew you were wearing lipstick, it's like I'm putting on lipstick too, and it has to be. I don't know where. Is that so wrong?
Listen.
No. Okay.
I'm
but
so
I admit I'm very
this
competitive.
woman. Listen. So the reason why she met Stephanie is because I met Stephanie. Okay? It's because I met Stephanie before she met Stephanie. Speak the truth and shame the devil. I met Stephanie at a conference in January. And Stephanie was wonderful enough to become a guest on our podcast. So when Leslie heard that Stephanie was going to be in New York
at Tabitha Brown's talk at the 92nd Street Y,
okay,
I'm like,
Leslie's like, I'm there. But listen, when you wish good for someone. When you wish good for someone, there's no competition. She's doing it because she's competitive. But I want her to know Stephanie too. Of course. Yes. Why wouldn't I? Yeah. Go ahead and meet Stephanie, Les. Go ahead and meet Stephanie. Okay. Anyway, so Stephanie, this is to you. Let me tell you what happened, right? I've been trying. Listen, the first thing happened and I was like, oh, I got to let Stephanie know. And then something happened day before yesterday. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. You are like an earworm. This is a term we use in theater when, we hear all these performances because you're there every night, you're there for rehearsal. And so the songs kind of get into your head. We call them earworms. Right. So Stephanie, let me tell you. So first of all, I'm not going to call names, but one of the plays that I'm working on, I do wig design for theater. She knows you. I was sitting and having a regular design meeting with the director, and I don't know, I guess your name comes up like comma all the time now because I am on my what's next for me journey, right. And it is going to be abroad. And she says, oh, I know Stephanie. I went to school with her. I'm like, okay, really? So I will be reaching out to you to give you all the details. So that happened, right? Okay. Day before yesterday, I get a text from my son who lives in LA. And in June, I was there for a short visit. And I hung out with he and some of his friends. We went dancing together. It was Pride Month, and we went to some bars. Had a great time. And so his friend Shiv is now in Spain. And so I get this text from my middle son, Ajani. And it's a group text with Shiv. And I'm pulling it up right now because it is so freaking like crazy.
The global world is tiny.
It's tiny. And okay, so this is the text that I got. It says, y'all are not going to believe this. Me, I can't breathe without my glasses. Hold, please. I need these. I pretend like I don't need them, but I don't need them as much as Leslie does. But me on my solo evening day in Madrid, walking around, eating, drinking, minding my business, having a martini at the bar at the end of the night. Woman sits next to me, American accent. Obviously, we start gabbing. She's talking about moving to Spain, pet sitting, leaving her job. I'm like, sorry, do you know Stephanie Perry? So this is my son's friend. So
just picking up a fellow American when she mentions moving abroad and pet sitting.
He says to her, do you know Stephanie Perry? And he says, it's her best friend in all caps. Johnny, I'm reaching out to your mother as we speak. So he reached out to me. I'm like, what on God's green earth? So I'm like,
how many things had to align in order for this to happen?
Johnny, how does Shiv know that I know Stephanie Perry? So I followed up with Johnny and asked him this question. He said, Mom, do you not remember when we went to have dinner with him and his roommate? You spent the whole time talking about Stephanie Perry and you wanting to move abroad. You like, that was the whole conversation. I did not remember. Wow. I did not remember. So obviously I've been talking about this. Listening. So I'm cracking up. So I told my sister, who is the person years ago who introduced me to Stephanie and her YouTube channel and so on.
And Monique also. And my sister. So
and your sister.
Like, we were always Stephanie adjacent.
We're always Stephanie adjacent. So my sister says, Ange, do you know how small the Black expat community is? How small that community is in Spain? How small that within that community? Mm-hmm. I'm just saying the fact that these two people are sitting together, and the common thread is, I guess, me and Stephanie Perry. Mm-hmm. This is like, if I'm going to be making some moves. Anyway, the passport is already getting renewed. It's already in process. Hopefully within the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll get my passport. But I'm not waiting for the passport because, okay, what's the point? The passport is in hand, and now what? I'm doing the now what? That's why I went to the summit. I'm doing the now what? So that when the passport comes, it's just a point in time. It's not, I've been waiting on this. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not waiting on that to take action. So I just wanted to talk about this because it's so exciting. It is. Sometimes you get your messages, you get the alignment, you get your questions answered. And what is on you now is to take action, right? You're getting all, there's no confusion anymore. There's no what should I do? You take the next step. I don't yet know where I'm going to go, but I'm going to take the next step. And the summit really is helping me to understand, right? This new concept of dating a city that you might want to move to. So that's kind of
the vision of that.
Isn't that a great way to think about it?
Dating a city that you want to go to, or a country, or
So in the context of the research now is, okay, where do I want to date, and so when I'm looking at places,
the framing of that is amazing.
I know.
I think we can develop that and just talk about that a little bit more on our podcast.
I know.
What we didn't like about the dates, how they stood us up.
I love it. Another thing that happened that points us to Costa Rica, which is, is on our list, is my niece Noelle just had a baby girl, and she named her Sonia Minnette. Now, Minnette is a, I don't know what it's called, but anyway, it's a name that is throughout our family. My mother had that name. I have that name. My sister has that name as our middle names. And it comes from my mother's aunt, right? So her father's sister, who is who lives in Costa Rica. She's no longer alive, obviously. But my grandfather was the only member of his family who was born in Jamaica. All the rest are in Costa Rica. And so this is a name that connects our family with our Costa Rican family. Yeah. And she was just born. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to signal.
These are all signs.
I'm gonna go date Costa Rica. I'm gonna go date Costa Rica. I don't know where yet, but the research continues and the movement forward continues, and it's so exciting. So I just wanted to talk about all these like Stephanie things that are happening.
Yeah.
Hey Steph, we love you. We still love you. We're watching you. We're just all about the work that you're doing in the world. And through this podcast, we want to be an extension of that, to reach the people who listen to us and to share your message of empowerment and living a life of ease and self-agency.
Mm-hmm. Right. And also one thing that's consistent with our brand is not being afraid of newness.
Yes.
Right. Or no. Right. Let me reframe that, because fear is okay.
Yeah.
But not letting that be a barrier.
Not letting it be a barrier. Not letting fear stop you.
No, don't let fear stop you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's it. So that's all we wanted to share with you today. Very exciting, and we are moving forward. And so take us out, Les.
Well, this has been another episode of Black Boomer Besties from Brooklyn.